Hey there, student athletes. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can secure a game-changing NIL deal during March Madness. So thank you for watching thank you for coming to Retro Scholars. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to get all your NIL questions answered. So before we get into the actual details of securing an NIL deal during March Madness, I want to show you and explain to you a point guard who did this last year, an incredible point guard, an incredible run. So I'm not going to tell you his name. I'm actually going to wait to the end after I explain all his highlights so you can understand who this point guard was. So last year there was a magical team by a magical player, and they went on an incredible run. So he scored, I think last year they beat the University of Kentucky. He scored 20 points when they beat the University of Kentucky. Then they beat the University of Murray State. He scored 13 points. Then lastly, they beat the University of Purdue. If you're watching the tournament now, Purdue's, a #1 seed, and he dropped in 10 points, and they made it all the way to the Elite Eight. Made it to the Elite Eight before losing to the University of North Carolina. So who am I talking about? What team am I talking about? So if you guess St. Peter's University, you are correct. And that player who had such an incredible run was anyway, it was Doug Edert. Doug Edert, the point guard for St. Peter's University at that time, since he's actually transferred to Bryant University, but he was the point guard. So why do I mention his story? I mention his story for a few reasons. The reason that I mention his story is because through his story, you can see a few things that he did correctly that was able to land him 2 NIL deals. One with Buffalo Wild Wings, and then 2 with Barstool Sports. He actually got his own clothing brand with I keep on saying Barstool Sports. So I want to show you how you can kind of mirror those things and kind of take the lessons within his story to model his story so you can actually get your own deal. The first thing I would say is, for this to work, you have to win. If you don't win, there's not going to be a way that you can get any deal. So you got to win, and you have to play. So that's kind of like the prereq. I maybe should have started with that first, but that's kind of like the prereq for you to be able to apply this strategy into securing NIL deals. If you're winning, and if you're playing and you're playing a significant role with your team, make sure you're capturing that content, and you can use that content on your social media. You can have a friend, the video department at your school, just make sure that they are okay with that. You want to make sure that you're being in compliance with all the regulations from your state to your local university as well. So once that is done, you have content on your channels, depending on what platform that you're using. What you can do is start reaching out. You want to reach out to these different organizations to see, are they doing any NIL deals during March Madness? And I'm pretty sure they are, because now is the time. Exposure is the thing that you can offer now that you probably couldn't offer before, especially if you're a small school. If you look at, Doug Edert's example, he was at a small school, so he didn't have exposure. But now he's getting the exposure. Now at that time he was getting the exposure, which landed him to NIL deals. So you want to start posting content. Number one, simple, just post content of you playing in a tournament, and then 2, reach out to organizations, asking if they're doing NIL deals. Now, coming up next, if you struggle actually writing emails, I'm actually going to show you how you can write an email actually using AI, ChatGPT, to craft a phenomenal NIL outreach email. I'm going to show you that. But before I get to that, if you have any questions, make sure you like and subscribe to this video, and let me know if you have any questions with NIL. So now let me show you how you can actually write your own your email with ChatGPT using AI, essentially. So it's a very simple process of how to do this. So I already have my prompt here. As you can clearly see, it say, write me an outreach email with the subject line to the marketing director. The reason that I'm saying marketing is you always want to look for marketing, and you always want to make sure that the marketing is the individual that you're reaching out to. It's usually going to be someone in marketing director, influencer marketing, that you're actually reaching out to when you're trying to negotiate these deals. Everything is going to flow through marketing. So I have my prompt in here. You can literally just type this out word for word. Click this little arrow here, so you can look at the website to get to ChatGPT as well. Post this in here. We're going to wait for it. Hopefully something pops up. It's not. Okay, here we go. Look at this. This gives me a subject line and it gives me the message that I can send. So we have here, right, your email, right, subject line, NIL opportunities during March Madness. We have it to the marketing director. So it says very clear. You can read it. I don't need to read it for you, but this is a way that you can use to, get your emails once you have all the content. Now, again, you need to be playing, and you need to be performing in the tournament to be able to use this strategy. Now, if you're not playing in the tournament, regardless, this strategy still works. You just need to have content. Just take the March Madness out of it and just reach out as normal. As I said before, the reason I'm making this around March Madness is because you have more exposure during March Madness, so it makes sense. So if you don't know how to actually find like companies or the marketing director or their email address to send it to them, at the end of this video, what I'm actually going to have here at the end of this video is you should see another video that I did is how to land an NIL deal using LinkedIn. So that should be valuable for you. So please keep me informed. Please let me know. Please send me all your questions and subscribe to the channel. And I want to make sure that you land your first NIL deal. I'll catch you at the next video.